A friend called last week asking for my input on an annuity that her friend strongly recommended she buy. I'm so glad she called before buying it. In this video, I will tell you the truth behind annuities, and it's not all rosy. Before we start, take a pause and read this disclaimer carefully. Consume this information, but don't base your investment decisions on this content alone. Do your research before making investment decisions or consult a professional if unsure. If you don't know me, I'm Avanti. I'm a mom, an investment analyst, and a CFA charter holder. Follow me to learn how to simplify your finances and build wealth. Let's start with what annuities are. Annuities are insurance-based products that many financial advisors recommend or push for retirement savings. Annuities may be an investment option if you're risk-averse, seek a guaranteed income stream, and don't understand or want to make investment choices. Broadly, there are two types of annuities: qualified and non-qualified. Qualified annuities are funded with pre-tax dollars. So this type of annuity is something your employer would set up for you. But most people buy annuities with after-tax dollars. These are non-qualified annuities. What exactly is an annuity? Think of it as a savings or investment account. You put money into this account in the form of premiums. The premiums form this portion here on the screen of the investment bucket called basis. These are after-tax dollars. You invest those premiums which grow over time, creating this growth bucket. And finally, you convert this account to generate a steady income stream, typically in retirement. You don't have to worry about taxes as long as the money stays in the account. Let's see what motivates people to buy annuities. This is what some people imagine what may happen in retirement. You save towards retirement and then begin to withdraw from your retirement account after you retire. Then your retirement balance goes down to zero and you still have several years to live. In this case, about 14 years. This thought seems scary to many people and they seek solace in annuities because annuities provide a steady income for the rest of their lives. So this line shows a regular income you could generate using an annuity. Does the steady income stream remind you of anything? That's right, a pension. Companies used to offer a steady income to retirees after they stopped working in the form of a pension. Most companies have stopped offering pensions to their retirees, instead offering retirement options such as 401k, 403b, or 457 plans. The income stream ends or is passed on to the retiree's surviving spouse when the retiree dies. By buying an annuity, you are creating something very similar to a pension. The steady income stream is one significant advantage you may have with an annuity. Suppose you know exactly how much your spending will be in retirement and subtract from it any guaranteed income streams such as Social Security. In that case, you may be able to determine the amount of income you will need from your annuity and then work backwards to calculate how much annuity you need to buy. And it's like a dream come true, except it's not. There are two stages to an annuity: pre-annuitized, when the annuity hasn't started paying out yet, and post-annuitized, when the annuity is paying you a consistent income. While the annuity hasn't annuitized, the money is restricted. You can't withdraw the cash value without getting dinged. Let's go through an example of what happens if you need to withdraw from an annuity before it is annuitized. Let's say you already purchased an annuity and you've paid $30,000 in premiums. Your basis is $30,000. And today the cash value is $100,000, which means your growth is $70,000. And for whatever reason, you decide to withdraw from it. Perhaps this video inspired you to research and you realize that this annuity wasn't a suitable investment. When you make the withdrawal, you can withdraw the basis tax-free. The growth will be taxed at your ordinary income tax rate. Let's assume that is 30%. You pay an income tax of $21,000. If you withdraw before the age of 59 and a half, you will also pay an additional penalty of 10% on $70,000, which is $7,000. Finally, the insurance company may deduct surrender charges. Let's say those are 8%. This 8% charge is on the total cash value and not just the growth portion, amounting to $8,000. That makes a total of $36,000 in taxes and charges. Instead of $100,000 from this cash bucket, you will only receive $64,000. So if you haven't invested in an annuity, you need to consider this. Read the prospectus carefully, understand the surrender charges. Most annuities charge between 5 and 20% of cash value in surrender charges. These charges go down the longer you stay invested in the annuity. And if you withdraw before the age of 59 and a half, you pay the IRS an additional 10% on the growth portion. You may say, but Avanti, I'm not planning to cash out of my annuity. I want to annuitize, that is, take a steady stream of cash flows. Okay, that's fine, but let's see what that means for your cash flows. We will use the same example, 30,000 in basis and 70,000 in growth. Basis is 30% of your total cash value, 30 divided by 100, and growth is 70%, 70 divided by 100. If your income stream is $10,000 a year, you will pay taxes on 70% of the income, which is $7,000, and then remaining $3,000, which was after tax, won't get taxed again. I'll talk about the different types of annuities, but let's say this annuity has a period certain of 10 years, which means the annuity pays $10,000 a year for as long as you're alive, but at least for 10 years. In 10 years, you will have exhausted your basis, which means starting year 11, your entire cash flow is only growth. And that whole portion will now be taxed at your ordinary income tax rate. Last year, a friend asked me to evaluate an annuity she owned. The annuity had an annual expense of 1.95%. That's close to 2%. Check out this video on what fees can do to your performance. Fees are sunk costs. You never recover them. And that's the amount that never gets invested. It goes to the insurance company and the investment manager and the person who sells you the annuity. The next thing I looked at was the performance. The basis that you paid gets invested. The performance of that annuity that I looked at was subpar, to say the least. The 10-year annualized return for the investment is 3.08%, underperforming the MSCI World Index by a considerable margin. Investments are a trade-off. When you invest in one vehicle, you're making two investment decisions. One is to invest in that specific vehicle, and the other is to not invest in something else. If you must invest in an annuity, ensure that you understand all the risks. Make sure to read the prospectus and the contract carefully. If you don't understand any terms, ask an expert. Research. Don't leave anything to chance. Check the surrender charges and the surrender period. If everything makes sense, sure, go ahead and invest. Also note that the sellers of annuities make a commission by selling you annuities. So there may be a conflict of interest here. I wanted to discuss the different types of annuities, but I'm out of time today. If you want to learn about the different types of annuities, let me know in the comments and I'll be sure to make another video on the topic. Thank you for staying till the end. Feel free to ask questions in the comments, but I also like words of encouragement, kindness, and constructive criticism if you have no questions. If you enjoyed the content and found it helpful, please give me a like and a follow, and that'll do for now. As always, don't forget to be happy, kind, and your best self. I will see you in my next video. Bye.